Hello, I'm Gita, and this is Answer the Question with a quick political update. Congress is off to a pretty good start, actually, passing a lot of regulations and rules and even a few laws last week with a lot of bipartisan cooperation, which is a great thing. That hopefully will continue, although next week is expected to be a lot more contentious with some of the cabinet picks coming up for hearings. The biggest news coming out of last week, though, was probably yesterday's sentencing of Donald Trump in his hush money trial. Back in May of 2024, now President-elect Donald Trump was convicted of 34 Class E felonies for falsifying records. And a Class E felony means he falsified the records for the purpose of defrauding someone, for the purpose of committing a crime, or for the purpose of, in his case, covering up a crime. But he was only just sentenced yesterday in January 2025 because of a series of legal maneuvers. So first he tried to use the Supreme Court's July 1st ruling that a president is granted full immunity from prosecution for a crime by the Constitution. Of course, the hush money trial related to activities that occurred before his first presidential term. So that claim was rejected. Then on Thursday, the day before the sentencing, Donald Trump's team filed an emergency brief with the Supreme Court seeking to block his sentencing, but the Supreme Court declined to block it, which cleared the way for Friday's sentencing, where although he was convicted, the judge in the case followed through with what he had signaled was his original intent and sentenced him to unconditional discharge. So what it means is that he will not have any sort of penalty applied to him as a result of the conviction. No financial penalty, no jail time, and no parole. And that is, of course, a great thing for him because normally a Class E felony can bring you 4 years of jail time and a $5,000 fine for each count. So that concludes that trial. The sentencing marks the end of it. And it would be nice to think this whole saga was over, but it's probably not, because the conclusion of that trial, of course, clears the way for an appeal to the appellate court, which would then review the lower court's decision and decide whether it should overturn it or not. And naturally, Trump's legal team has already signaled that they do plan to appeal it. So that was the big story. We'll see what happens next week. Stay tuned, follow this channel to see what happens with all of the cabinet nominations.